The college basketball experience bombs down under episode 4, Tuesday, March 5th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 different states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pickup for a chance to win 100 times the amount of money you can enter in NBA, NHL, college basketball, and much, much more. Sign up today using the promo code SGPN and get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Yes, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience. Bombs down under. Oh, soundboard is back. Bombs down under 4. Tuesday, March 5th is in effect. You can watch this episode over at youtube.com/the college experience. We are rolling. March Madness is here. Conference tournaments are about to tip off in a few hours. Well, at least one. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Yes. Shout out to the chat. Once again, youtube.com/the college experience. We are rolling along, folks. Shout out to Fly High J, Jesse from the Bronx. Let's go back to back for another round. Let's fucking go. Everyone in here. Skrills, live from the curb. Let's eat. Nathan Cerna, Dundee, Mr. Sullivan. I made it. Tuning in from work. There we go. Put your work aside. Tell your manager, get the fuck out of here. This is March, and I need to pay attention to making big time bucks. Shout out to Michael B. Also, best show on YouTube.
700 billion and
Look, I am joined by my co-host. He's back in studio.
Yeah.
I wish I could play "It's a Long Way Home," the Rambo theme song, but I don't have it on the soundboard. Give it up for the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which you should be subscribed to. They call him the man in the box, but he's better known to me as the bet detective. Give it up for CJ Sullivan. How you doing, brother?
Great, Kobe. Yeah, I'm back in the studio. First time back, just for this show, of course. Just then Sean and Kramer kicked me to the quarantine side booth for my show after this to finish off the C block. But we are back. Yeah, exciting. This is it. I had to come in for March. I don't care. Dug myself up, crawled here, and patch some things up, put some wires back in me, and we're ready to roll.
There we go. Look, I same with me. I'm pushing around White Tiger these days.
Mm-hmm.
White Tiger big on Weber State tonight. We can just lead in with that.
I was just going to say White Tiger's got to be excited for his first March, right?
He is, within 24 hours of being home, he caught Duke Carolina. He's looking forward to the second matchup this Saturday. We'll talk about that as on our Thursday show. But I wanted to ask White Tiger his thoughts on Duke NC State tipping off in a few hours here. I think we're both taking the pussy pack, even though we know Kyle Filipowski's kind of the alpha of the pussy pack, despite him being on the wrong team. I think NC State, and you can even get a 7 out there right now. I think it's worth jumping on the Wolfpack. They've had a strong history of winning outside of Cameron Indoor Stadium against the Duke Blue Devils. Your thoughts on this one, Bet Detective?
Yep. Well, we'll see if Nancy Kerrigan can suit up tonight after taking such a devastating blow during the court storming a week ago, as he's doing 360 dunks now. Yeah, and it's a look ahead spot. They got their big game, the rematch versus Carolina, coming up next, I believe. Right? That is their next game, right?
Yeah,
it has to be.
Yeah. And shout out
tournament. Go ahead.
Shout out to Leg Show Magazine, says I'm missing my daughter's wedding for this show. Well, look,
Leg Show Magazine out of print. But it got a second life with The Sopranos. That was like the poster. There's a poster of it in the Bada Bing in the upstairs room.
And look, if you're missing your daughter's wedding, I wish the best for your daughter, but weddings there's like a 60% divorce rate now. All right. Who's getting married in March? That's flag on the play right there. But I mean, look. 60% chance of a divorce. Meanwhile, we're hitting at about 80% of our locks. There's an easy decision to be made there.
Yeah, it's a tough. That's a tough number. They put up strong numbers every year. Divorce.
So I mean, I don't know. I know we want to touch a little bit about the conference tournaments, but Duke, NC State. I'm all over the pussy pack.
I love NC State. And the other big game I like tonight, I like Baylor to pound Texas tonight. I think in a rematch game. It's a rematch, revenge game. They lost at Texas earlier in the year. I like that, and there's some kind of trend the last couple of weeks of the season. Revenge games at home where the spread's more than 6. It was like UConn yesterday versus Seton Hall. Auburn crushed over the weekend. I think Baylor might have done this earlier too.
I'm on the horns.
Are you?
I'm on the horns. I think Baylor 48 hours ago, you beat Kansas. You still don't have Langston Love back.
I agree with that. It's a tough spot for them there. I just think Baylor's rolling though.
Yeah, you might be right there, but Texas, I think they can at least stay within that number. And another one is, I think you can get a 7 out there on that too.
I love it. I wish it was more. I want to lay 9.
Yeah,
I get more. I
want to take 9.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel as confident laying 4.5, but I feel confident laying 9.
CJ Sullivan with that great math.
Well, I don't get it cold, but they're counting down.
The Atlantic Sun tournament kicks off tonight.
Yes, it does.
Tips off, whatever the fuck you want to say. Begins basketball tonight. The future market. I just want I know we hammered this on last night's show, but I just feel like the good folks out there that are working hard, that are playing this episode in the middle of work.
Last 20 minutes of work, catching it all. Yeah.
Maybe they missed out on this opportunity to jump in on some great value, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is, I have a future on Austin Peay.
Okay.
The Governors, and I have a future. I have a future on Florida Gulf Coast. I believe Florida Gulf Coast has the most talented roster in this whole conference. You could argue Eastern Kentucky with it, and then another one is the reason, the logic. So Austin Peay's plus 700. Austin Peay's got a first year coach who the team seems to be coming on to me. They just beat Eastern Kentucky, the 1 seed, a week ago. And they just seem to me a team that's coming into form. Then Gulf Coast is plus 2,500. So I'm loading up on what I think, they had Isaiah Thompson injured some of the season. I think that, when you watch them, I think they're the most talented team. Now, coaching, they haven't lived up to it. Obviously, this is why their odds are so bad. But I like jumping in on what I think is the most talented team. It's why I'm going to take the Memphis Tigers when we get to the AAC tournament. Your thoughts on those plays, and what are you doing in the ASUN?
I like Pat Chambers as a coach. Coaching might not have been that great this year, but I trust him, to be honest with you, when it comes to tournament time. And they play the best defense. They have the best defense ratings. I mean, no one plays defense in this conference, but for what that's worth, they are the best defense team in this conference. I got them at 25-1 this morning. It's already slipped down to 16. So this show must be going right behind the counters, piping right through.
Yeah. Yeah,
Austin Peay 8-1. I like that Austin Peay play. But yeah, how can you not play Florida Gulf Coast? Like you said, they're the most talented. They have good advanced numbers. They're gonna have a tough road as far as scheduling goes, because this is like on campus games, right? It's not a one tournament, even though it's in Florida.
Yeah, it is on campus. Now Corey Gibson comes in year 1 to Austin Peay, and this is the logic here. They were 9-22 last year in the ASUN in their first year in the ASUN. You know, Corey Gibson comes in and they're 17-14, and they're really been looking a lot better, I'd say, towards the back half of the season. That's the logic on taking the Governors at plus 700. I normally, a lot of these conferences, I like 2 tickets. 2 tickets like to paradise, baby. All right.
Anytime we can get any money in the show. How was that? Those bastards on YouTube wouldn't let us play that music, but that'd be an incredible drop.
Bartended on Eddie Money. Hell of a nice guy, even though I'm sure he did not know what the hell he was ordering. Man,
now that's the best celeb story you have. How come you were saving that one forever?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that. You didn't know I was sitting on that one, did you?
No, I didn't know you were sitting on it on Sweaty Eddie.
Money, and I met his daughter. All right, that boom. All right,
Sweaty Eddie's got a daughter.
Sweaty Eddie's got a daughter. Look, and she gets up on stage with him, starts singing and getting the whole crowd to clap.
Oh, I bet she's amazing.
There. I was bartending. I was bartending for the behind the scenes. All right, watching.
Yeah, you were the hottie toddies, the snotties.
Everyone else got 2 tickets to Paradise. I got 2 tickets to watch them from behind the, in the just the A-listers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. You were behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, bartending. It's hard to pour drinks when he's doing "Take Me Home Tonight." I'll tell you that right now.
Oh my God, amazing! Did he just pop up on stage there?
What's that?
He would just pop up on stage at that bar there.
Pop up on stage right before the show came by. Did not order alcohol, but ordered.
Did he sing "Give Me Some Water" when he wanted?
He did not sing "Give Me Some Water." He should have.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, he had some type of a fruit juice concoction where I had to throw 3 or 4 fruit juices together.
He's always thinking Paradise, Eddie.
That's what I'm saying. He's in Paradise all the fucking time.
Jessie Money is the daughter, by the way.
Yeah, Jessie Money. So. Met Jessie Money. She was drinking. Now, what? So if you had to take a stab on a second team, what would you do?
Atlantic Sun. Well, like you said, you can't play Eastern Kentucky, which is the best team there. Isaiah Kozart's the best player, I believe, in this conference. I don't know if they think about player of the years. Lipscomb, I don't like since they lost Darren Boyd. I would say Stetson, even though he's a short little yapper. At 3-1, they shoot the 3 at an incredible rate, so they can beat anyone. They shoot it like at 39% or something like that, and that's what you're looking for in these tournaments. And they got Jalen, what's his name? Blackham, who averages 21 a game.
Yeah,
for a yapper, I'd take Stetson. Although I like your Austin Peay better at 8-1, but I like Stetson. I'm looking at plus 350. So yeah, Florida Gulf Coast and Stetson would be my 2. Yes, the Hatters.
Ray Finkel's alma mater. Yes. All right. Look, we should probably key in on this one because tomorrow we have the Sun Belt Championship. I'm sorry, the conference championship, the conference tournament. I can't fucking talk. All right,
conference tournament. They start tomorrow. Yeah. Then they take a day off. This is it's in Pensacola, right? Sunny Time, Florida Stadium. This is all in the stadium, right? Everyone makes it. Is this
everyone
like a triple buy?
We'll see how packed. We'll see how packed it is. But. I don't know if you have so I was shocked when they announced JMU as the odds-on favorite, considering App State won the conference and also swept James Madison. JMU is plus 120, App State's plus 180. The Troy Trojans are plus 500, Arkansas State's plus 800, Louisiana Lafayette plus 1200, Southern Miss plus 5,000, South Alabama plus 5,000, Georgia State plus 6,000, Texas State plus 10,000, Marshall plus 10,000. ODU plus 25,000, the Monarchs, Georgia Southern plus 25,000, ULM and Coastal plus 50,000. My logic here was to jump on App State just because I feel like if they play JMU, they will beat them again because they've clearly had a knack for doing that. They also, I think the Troy Trojans are a team with a little bit of value there. On the bottom side, they would get JMU if everything goes chalk, and you win that game. Who knows what can happen? You're in the championship game then. So that's my logic there. Do you have a strong feel about the Sun Belt?
Well, this is tough because obviously JMU and Appalachian are on a crash course to play again for the 3rd time. They're clearly the 2 best teams. And there will be that narrative. Well, you can't beat a team 3 times, that kind of bullshit going on. I mean, I do think Appalachian State would have the advantage. That's why I think playing JMU actually isn't a bad way to go, because if they do play in the championship game, then you can get Appalachian State a plus money in the championship game, and then you can just sit back with 2 plus money bets. Now, that being said, I'm not going to do that because that's now we're doing for nickels and dimes. I like if I wanted to pick one team that wasn't those top 2. Does that make sense, by the way, what I just said there?
Yeah.
With the JMU, I mean, you're looking at a small profit, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, you're talking about hedging out a championship game where you guys are both even money pretty much. I like Arkansas State in a way. They're senior-led. A lot of guards, great guard play. And sometimes they can control the pace of these tournaments, and the chaos. And you got... who is it? Caleb Fields, 5th-year senior, and you don't see that too often. Who's the other one? I got Terrence Todd, a bunch of guards out there and seniors, and sometimes they can navigate through these tournaments.
One of the things I would say that is scary if you are, playing Arkansas State or Appalachian State, which I'm playing Appalachian State, is I believe the Ragin Cajuns are a wild card in this mix. The Ragin Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette.
Like it.
I mean, they were 18-13. They finished 5th in the Sun Belt. They have 4 guys that average in double digits, and to me, they're all capable of going off on each night. And one of the things that if you analyze the schedule, now I know down the stretch they seem to get in a little bit of a funk there. They lost 4 in a row before beating Southern Miss in the regular season finale. But if you go back further in the year or earlier in the year, they kept it very, very close with James Madison. It was a 7-point loss to JMU, and I think if you watch that game, it was even closer. They beat an Eastern Kentucky team that's the 1 seed in the conference we were just talking about. Yeah, they kept it close with App State. They did sweep Arkansas State, so I don't think Arkansas State wants to see Louisiana.
No.
So watch out though, because if Louisiana wins, they're going if they beat the winner of the play-in game, they would be playing Arkansas State. And then we would see them, potentially against Appalachian State, which could be a trickier game than I think some App State fans might realize.
My only problem with Louisiana, and I do like them, and they can beat Arkansas State. Obviously, they can beat anybody in that conference, but they don't run too deep. They have like a 6-man rotation, and to win 4 games in 5 days, you're gonna have to need, give us a lot of spells. That can get so early on. I think they can pile up a couple wins, but I think eventually they would wear down. But I mean, they're great. I do like them. Who's Kobe Julian? Yeah, is that they got? They got their own Kobe out there.
Themis Folks. Love that name. Mm-hmm. To me though,
good names.
It's just, to me, if you can get a team like I said, I actually haven't placed a bet on Louisiana Lafayette, but if I had to take a third one, the odds are so high, and the team to me has what I always like, getting a team with multiple scorers. So if one guy's cold, you got another guy that can light it up for you. And the Sun Belt historically has given out crazy, I feel like each year the 1, 2, and 3 seeds never win it. Now I'll say this year there seems to be a big divide between JMU and App State and the rest. Mm-hmm. So the years previously, it seemed like everyone was within 2 or 3 games. So no wonder why the 8 seeds win in the tournament. I don't know. Let's jump into. So
I will say this though: compare Troy and Arkansas State. Obviously, you think Troy would be a better team. I think that maybe
Troy's
a tougher match.
I think Troy's better. Yeah.
So that's a tougher matchup for James Madison, because that'll be a 2-3 eventually, right?
Correct. But I think Louisiana is the team that, if I was an App State fan, you just beat Arkansas State by like 30 2 days ago. Right. It's the Louisiana game that you say, I hope we don't get them. I hope Arkansas State handles business against Louisiana.
All right,
we'll see. But we also have the Patriot League tips off tomorrow and the Horizon. But let's jump on over to the Patriot League, because Colgate has dominated this conference for a long, long time, but they looked more vulnerable this year than most years. I look and I see they're minus 250. BU, Boston, the Terriers are plus 600. American, who I'm jumping in on American at plus 750. They beat Colgate.
They beat them.
Colgate, and I'm also And I know that they just lost on Saturday, but they looked apart to me this year. And another one that I think is worth a shot, and don't tell stacking the money. I think the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. I really believe. Well, here's the logic. Down the stretch, Lehigh was playing way better basketball, and a lot of that is due to they finished 6th in the Patriot League, but they had injuries all year. Heath Higgins Jr. is like maybe their best player on the whole team. Was out, and they also had their forward Dominic Parolin. He was out a few games too. Same with Jalen Sinclair. So they had like 3 key players, 3 starters miss major games. So I do believe they're better than their seeding. So by that logic, I like taking a shot on the Mountain Hawks. So give me American and give me Lehigh. Yes, Lafayette's was hot earlier in the year. They're plus 1,500. Bucknell plus 2,500. Navy plus 9,000. Army plus 15,000. Loyola Maryland, not crazy to me. Loyola Maryland they sucked at home, but on the road they were pretty good. Guess what they got to do? They got to go on the road. Not sure crazy for the Greyhounds. And then Holy Cross at plus 50,000. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Patriot
No thoughts on the Crusaders or Loyola Marymount getting any ship. But you're right. They do have to go on the road. So which is, I guess, good. Bob Cousy's not coming through that door for Holy Cross, but I will say I'm with you on American. They did beat Colgate. They're the only other team with a winning record, for God's sakes. It seems like in the conference, in this entire conference there. If I was going to take between, I like your theory there on Lehigh, but I'd rather take Lafayette at that 6. I'm looking at 16-1. They also beat Colgate, didn't they, earlier on?
That was, yeah, but they've kind of faded down the stretch. That's the only thing. But
they do play. They play a nice smothering D. Now, granted, it's around the goal. They stopped the 2-pointer, which is pointless against Colgate. But to get there, to navigate your way through there.
I got you. I got you. Look, earlier in the year, they were like 8-0 in conference play.
Right.
They were looking like the 1 seed. But the cream always rises to the top. But hey, it's worth a shot on the Leopards. All right, they had a great year in football. You know, maybe it'll translate to basketball. Shout out to Rafael Cardoza shouting us out from Riverside, California. Riverside.
Love Riverside, California.
And Putter McBride said pick system play. And yes, I did call. So yesterday I called for UConn to win by 30, and they won by exactly 30 against Seton Hall. Hope you tuned in. Yeah, let's jump over to the Horizon, which I think this tournament is just insane. There's 8 teams that could win this thing, in my opinion. I think Youngstown State. So the odds-on favorite is not the 1 seed. Youngstown State plus 195, Oakland plus 240, Wright State, who I think is the actual best roster, plus 290. Green Bay, obviously, Sundance Wicks, great year in his first season at Green Bay, but we need to know the injury situation. They're plus 950. IPFW plus 1300. Northern Kentucky, who wins this thing every other year, plus 1400. Cleveland State, which I once again I just can't believe they're plus 2000 here. Milwaukee plus 2200. See, I would cut it off there as teams that can win the championship. Now, Robert Morris, I actually think could win a game or two because sometimes they've gotten up in games, but they're plus 3500. IUPUI is terrible. Detroit's terrible. They're both plus 50,000. I'm all over. Wright State, I believe, is the best team.
Wow. Wright State.
So plus 290. And then I'm taking a sprinkle on Cleveland State at plus 2000 just because I think them or Milwaukee is worth a play because of how good they are for that odds. Like for those odds.
Those are great odds for Cleveland State. What is the deal? I mean, obviously it all depends on
Noah Reynolds, the injury for in Green Bay. If he plays, you're getting great value on the Phoenix.
Green Bay, you're getting Noah Reynolds. Cleveland State, what about Tristan Ananaru? Is that his name?
Yeah,
the guy from Kansas and Iowa State. If he play, I mean, he could, whatever the fuck he's from. He's from both, but he can be he's the best player in the tournament when he's playing. I mean, he's a guy.
Well, him or Reynolds. Reynolds coming in from Wyoming is a fucking stud too.
Both guys you could single-handedly win a tournament on their own.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a lot of teams.
This tournament is going to be insane. Like to me, out of all the ones we've previewed, this one, I feel like night in after Detroit and Ooey Pooey lose, every game is going to be like a 2-point game. buckle up because I really believe any team could win that fucking thing.
And it's gonna be wild in the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. I just love it.
What are you sprinkling on in this? You're going.
I like Cleveland State. I like Green Bay at those odds. I'm looking at 12-1 and 20-1. Who do I think is going to win? I think Oakland's going to win it, but
the Golden Grizz.
Yeah, I like Oakland. But at plus 250, whatever. I'd rather just sprinkle Cleveland State and Green Bay and see what happens there. Because you got live dogs there for like you were saying. There's no sense.
Most conferences, your 7 and 8 seeds aren't like if you go look, they're like those are 1-point games.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you're not getting that type of value in most.
That's
conferences.
why I like those conferences that are finally cutting down and saying not everyone qualifies for this. All right.
ASUN told Bellarmine in Central Arkansas, get your shit out of here.
All right.
All right.
Some participation trophies down here. Get your bullshit. You get your swag bag. Get your t-shirts. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need you screwing
You are
things
not
up.
invited to Richmond, Kentucky. All right. All right, folks. I want to tell you before we get to looking at this Tuesday slate, because the Tuesday slate is fire, that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S. based and available in 40 different states. P2P social betting is a new and better way to bet. Bet directly against your friends or other users on sports, politics, pop culture, and other events with verifiable outcomes. Plus, a ton of fun social features that give it a feel of a betting social network, so to speak. Cut offers lower VIG and fully customizable odds. You can create your own bets, people. And also Cut handles the payment side of things, so you never have to chase down old Billy Ray with the with the lead pipe. Get your fucking money. All right.
Billy Ray, that old Billy Bats.
Yeah, that piece of shit's been ducking out. He knows you're gonna be at the local dive every Friday night. He's not going there. Social features include group chats, betting leaderboards, head-to-head history, user profiles, fan groups, and much, much more. So what are you doing? Download Cut today in the App Store or over at cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. Look, you pick whether your favorite player will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's games or the next games happening. And you can win up to 100 times the amount of money you enter in a single night. So sign up with the promo code SGPN and get your first deposit doubled up to $100 as well as an instant pick-up special. Yes, visit UnderdogFantasy.com. Find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with the promo code TCE SGPN. Here's one for you, CJ, that I'm on, and I'm curious your take on this. I think Max Asmus is going to score more than 14.5 points tonight against Baylor. And then I think Kyle Filipowski, the head of the Pussy Pack, he has a 26.5 PRA. I think we go lower on the PRA. Max,
the fact that he's walking alone is a miracle. So 26.5 is outrageous. Go lower than that.
Yeah, and you mix Asmus with that. We throw 50 smackaroos on there. You can win 150 just like that. Boom. What are you doing, folks? Jump on over there. And I highly recommend it. I think it's the best the best to find edges on a lot of your players that you really won't find elsewhere in college hoops. So jump on over there. Use that promo code TCE SGPN. All right, we are back on the college basketball experience, and let's talk about these games tomorrow because we have we got conference tournaments mixed with regular season action, critical games. Now these lines, I don't know that they're fully out. I'm just going to do a quick check, see if I can do a quick update, see if we have a lot of these lines.
Let's see here. There's some lines out for sure.
You bet online right now. What are you looking at?
Bet online's got some lines out there. Of course, our man Bart. Wow, I was not expecting that. I was Purdue, Illinois. What line did you guess that would be?
Let's open with that one because that's a very interesting game. Purdue heading to Champaign, Illinois. Obviously, Illinois been playing much better basketball down the stretch here. That line is sitting at Illinois -1. What are they telling us, buddy?
Illinois -1.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, like you said, Illinois has been playing well. It seems like they're on the road forever, Illinois, right? And they just get back.
They got back from Madison, Wisconsin. I don't know if that counts as the road. That's not that far away, right? But
and real quick, I mean, can we get a support group together for people that continue to bet on Wisconsin? Me being one of them.
Me too. I did it last time.
What am I doing?
I'm done with those fucking losers. They're all stapled to the ground.
Good God.
I'm gonna jump in on I think the Fighting Illini are gonna get the best of the Boilermakers in Champaign.
You ever been out to Champaign?
Briefly, not really.
It's a long time out there. They get after it. Yeah. It's Land of Lincoln. You driving out there, it's nothing. I mean, it's like those states like New York and Pennsylvania. You got cities, and then the rest is Alabama, and Illinois is fucking Hickville. There's a lot of like, hey, Lincoln had a fucking breakfast here. Stop by here, rest stop. And that's their whole town existence. But you go out to Champaign. And the Bears played out there one year because when they were building the stadium, or whatever, and it's fucked. I mean, they get after it. It's a little underrated. They're idiots, but I love them. Love to hear that.
I spent a weekend at, I want to say it was somewhere right around Carbondale, and whew.
Yeah, Carbondale, absolutely.
Thought I was in, I don't know, bumfuck Kansas or something. Mm-hmm. They produce a lot more corn than people realize.
Absolutely, I've done a couple Roadhouse shows out there, and they out in the fucking who knows where I'm at, Illinois. That's what it is. It's just pure dark and fields.
So yeah, we're both on the Fighting Illini.
I'm looking at that total 164.5. I think it flies over that too. I mean, Illinois is fucking. Illinois' defense is not good, but they're scoring 80, 85 a game, no problem.
Yeah, I say we jump in on that too. Let's jump in on that over. We got the Sunflower Showdown going on tomorrow too. The Kansas State Wildcats are heading to Kansas. Remember there was an incident a couple years ago where a guy pulled a Jimmy Hart and he grabbed a chair and he almost hit it on a player after a little dust up. Didn't use the chair, and all of America.
He thought about it though. He gave it a good thought, right?
All of America completely overreacted because I'm like, he didn't use the chair. They're like, you can't have this. You can't. I'm like, what do you mean? He didn't use the fucking chair. He didn't use the chair.
He thought better of it. God forbid.
Yeah. Just picking up a chair, making sure they clean up, make sure no one gets hurt running into the chair.
Right. He's checking the safety of it. The legs, looked a little wobbly. Who amongst us hasn't picked up a chair in rage and wanted to split someone's head open? But you think better of it. Doesn't mean you do it.
I was playing Bill Walsh's college football in '95, and my brother NC Nick, who will be on the college basketball show tonight.
Shout out to Nick.
He was beating me pretty bad, and I got very sick of him running the same play over and over.
Taunting.
So I got a little heated, threw the controller down, picked up a gigantic wooden chair like you would have at a dinner table, threw it at him. It missed. He ducked. And it stuck a gigantic hole in the wall, which really pissed off my father. And I might have had to pay the price for a fucking chair going into the wall. Just typical 12-year-old boy stuff.
And you're not talking about your allowance getting hit. Yeah, you're talking
my allowance did not get hit, but
you learned your lesson and controlled your anger ever since. I'm sure.
Cause and reaction 101. I mean, sometimes you get a little heated. You pick up the chair. I even use the chair.
You can throw it around. Hell, Bobby Knight. We got the Bobby Knight chair right there. The bobblehead.
The pan out of there. Let them see that. Let them see that glory.
Yeah,
look at that right there. You got Sister Jean. You got L. Ron Hunter. And you got Bobby Knight, all of them right there. Whew.
Did you see someone put online because Sister Jean was on the court? Like, she's court storming, put her in jail. And Jay Billis tweeted out a picture. Jay Billis would throw Sister Jean in jail. A court stormer.
Now, at least he addressed it as a joke.
He did.
Yeah, he was aware. He was self-aware enough.
Well, it's mainly because of the the flack he's getting from it.
The backlash.
Yeah, the
right?
backlash, the blowback, if you will.
Blowback sounds like a great Brian Bosworth movie. You know what I mean? It just sounds. I'm sure he did something like that. Blowback. We should go out and we'll do that on our movie podcast. But
direct a Skinamax Blowback.
Looking at some of these other lines here, buddy.
Real quick though, who do you like in that game? The Sunflower game. The line's 10.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're supposed to pick games. I like laying the points with the Jayhawks because they just got destroyed, and they have at Houston on deck where they're going to lose at Houston. So I like this is a nice fuck you game. K-State's not there to me. They're really missing a lot of their guys from a year ago. I watched that Memphis game. You saw Tomlin just having a big time game for the Tigers yesterday. K-State could really use them. So I'm going to lay the 10 with the Jayhawks. Are you buying the points, buddy? I
mean, it's a bet detective line. It seems like a loud number there where they want you to take. They need some K-State money coming in. Because I'm not a believer in Kansas. I don't care that they lost 2 in a row. I think they can lose 3 in a row. Not that they will. So the sniff, the bad sniffing of this fentanyl line makes me go with you. I think I'm gonna lay the 10 with Kansas.
All right, let's jump on over to a few that I'm very excited to talk about here is, the chat was talking about Notre Dame is live to beat Carolina in Chapel Hill. Notre Dame's getting 15.5. You saw them knock off Wake Forest. You saw them knock off Clemson, but those were in South Bend. Obviously, one of the reasons why we're on NC State tonight is the fact that Duke has Carolina on deck.
Both look aheads for sure.
Yeah. I'll take the 15.5. I don't think Notre Dame's live though. If it was in South Bend, I would say maybe.
Right.
In Chapel Hill, I don't see it being live.
That's a fun look ahead money line parlay there though.
That is. If you can get that in right now, the
Wolfpack
NC
Irish.
State and Notre Dame. Let's go.
I like that.
Now there's a couple that really catch my eye here. So South Florida, if they win, they clinch. They already clinched. They already clinched, right? They already clinched, I think.
They got me again, South Florida. Jesus.
They got me too, dude. Amir Abdul Rahim doing an unbelievable coaching job. You know, there's already rumblings that Louisville is going to be he's going to be one and done potentially in Tampa. Hopefully that's not the truth. So this is a useless game for them. They clinched the 1 seed. So, and then Elron Hunter, the Battlefield Earth over there coming in, take on
Star Galactica coming in there.
Coming in, I think it's worth taking a shot on Tulane in the points because South Florida might be a little asleep. Tulane covered for me against the Owls of FAU on Sunday or Saturday, whatever the fuck it is. I think it's Saturday. Why not? They've already clinched. Why not take a little shot?
No, it's definitely a good spot. I just have PTSD against fading South Florida and then pissing in my face, basically. The line's what, 7.5 I'm looking at?
Yeah, jump on the green wave.
I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of it's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
I love that at the end. Did I just say those words?
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think of the other premier game there? Besides Purdue and Illinois, the revenge game of Alabama, Florida. Florida was getting what, 9.5 when at Alabama a week ago or 2 weeks ago. The game they should have won outright, and now it's down to 1 because of that effort. I mean, listen, I like Florida. I have a futures on Florida. I love the way they're playing. I think they're kind of like a mini Kentucky almost right now. Although they did, and I had them for South Carolina. That was not fun watching them fucking blow that game. But that being said, I like them in a revenge spot here for South.
I like them. Let's go in on the Gators. They beat the piss out of Auburn at the Swamp. They They still think they invented fucking Gatorade, but still, they're gonna get it done against Alabama at home. I'm all over the Gators there. I think that's a good spot. I like Tulane. I like the Gators. Let's talk a little bit about let's talk bubble watch here. Florida State Seminoles heading up to Pittsburgh. They're getting 7.5. CJ, I know you've spent a lot of time in the great city of Pittsburgh.
Great city of Pittsburgh, downtown Pittsburgh. RIP the O. Great bag of French fries. They would give you a late night place. Anyway, go ahead.
Jerome Lane stuffing it home, breaking the fucking rim. Remember that?
Send it in, Jerome.
Yeah.
Rafferty with a great call on that one.
Pitt needs this game. 7.5's a lot, though.
There's a lot.
What are you doing here?
I hate this game. I hate this fucking game. I hate this conference. I hate everything.
I hate this fucking show. You know what? I'm out of here.
Show. I hate the sport of basketball. I hate every choice I made in life. But you're right. If you got to take something, it'd have to be Pitt.
I think you're right. I think we load up on the Pitt Panthers. They need this game.
They know.
And may God have mercy on our souls. All right. Now, what about another huge bubble game? Syracuse. People are pushing this narrative that Syracuse needs to be on bubble watch. They're getting 9.5 at Clemson. Joe Girard, former Syracuse point guard, now playing for Clemson. 9.5 is a gigantic number. I have to take the Orange Men.
Yeah,
I have to. It's too big. I've seen Clemson shit the bed like they did the other night at Notre Dame. I've seen them do this down the stretch for like 30 fucking years. So I have to take the 9.5, despite me not necessarily buying all the way in on Syracuse. Give me the 9.5. They stay within this game. I think it's lock-worthy. Your thoughts?
Lockworthy's a bit much. I mean, but why not? I mean, Syracuse is the only side I can play for sure. That's a hefty number for a team that's coming down the wire. It's desperate. That does need this. And I'm buying the narrative of Syracuse. They got some good wins on their resume, and just those program names. It's a committee. It's a popularity contest.
Yeah. Shout out to Clark, who's on Q's as well. Let's lock up the Q's. Let's go. Orangeman, get it done. And you want to know what's going to be the funniest fucking storyline in college basketball?
All right.
A lot of people were giving Providence all this love. And then I bet Providence on Saturday. They pissed in my face as Villanova came into the dunk.
Nova, good old-fashioned face pissing, yeah.
Now Providence is probably the first 4 out. And everyone talked all this shit to Ed Cooley. He said, motherfucker, I'm rich. All right. But this is going to be so fucking hilarious. And I want it to happen. Georgetown almost won at the dunk.
I can't believe they blew that game. And you called that. You were on and I talked you out. There's no way. I thought Xavier fucking, I mean, just because Georgetown, but that was a perfect Georgetown way to lose that game. Though.
This is the game. This ruins Providence's season. It makes them hate Ed Cooley so fucking much. The pressure is all on Providence. This is the game. Give me the Hoyas, sprinkle that money line, and the hatred goes to the next level. Wow. I can't wait. Please.
Cooley revenge game. I love it. The double Cooley revenge game. I don't know. I think I might have taken a lot out of Georgetown that game versus Xavier last week. I mean, to put up 93 and lose, and like you said, they're finishing strong. I mean, I just can't get behind fucking Georgetown.
Oh, you're killing me. This is gonna be the best storyline all year. Best storyline.
It is a great storyline.
Year.
What is that? 7.5? Why not?
7.5. Jump in on the Hoyas.
I'm rich. I'm rich bitch bowl. I love
it. Ole Miss is at Georgia. You want to talk about teams collapsing down the stretch? Ole Miss, they're still playing for their postseason lives. Sitting there, Georgia's pissed. They hit a wall.
I haven't figured out a Georgia game all year. I've never been on the right side of a fucking Georgia game. I hate them. They always have a bettable game on, in front of me. Like it's always some fucking situation. Like, oh, all right, either against them or for them. I'm never on the right side. Fuck Georgia.
So I take it you're on Ole Miss, which means Georgia will win.
I'll take Georgia again. Why not?
Ole Miss is 20-9. Fighting, itching, scratching their way to a tournament berth in Chris Beard's first year at Oxford. Georgia's 1-9 in their last 10, but I mean, Ole Miss is 4-6 in their last 10. But I'm with you. Give me the Rebels.
Let's take
the Rebels to get it done. You
it.
take Georgia. You take Georgia. I'll take the Rebels.
We'll split. I'll take them dogs. Fuck. Why bail now? I mean, if you don't go to the wedding, you might as well go to the funeral. You know what I mean? So let's just take Georgia all the way to my goddamn casket.
Folks, I want to tell you, there's a few more games we're going to talk about, but I want to tell you the college basketball experience is brought to you by Manscaped. We top of the morning to you. This episode is brought to you by the St. Patrick's Day Shamrock Shavers Manscaped. Look, this year, don't just chase rainbows. Make your own pot of gold and groom your little leprechaun with the leaders and below the belt grooming. Say goodbye to your clover forest with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0. This is look. We've all seen the movie Lawnmower Man. This thing is way better. Let me grab this product.
Yes, get the product. And is that actually part of the read? Am I have to? Will I be reading that? Will I be reading that after this show when I do the bombs? Following this show.
It's only for college experience.
Oh,
it's only for. But look at this. This is almost like the old Star Wars DVD collection.
Look at that.
You open this book up, and they got three different sizes for you to just shave away. You know.
That box looks like the old the special Zelda box you would get, the gold Zelda that you would save and keep on top of your TV.
Look at this state of the art electronics. This is Lawnmower 5.0, and I can tell you why is it better than the 4.0 because they've updated shit. They got 3 different styles to come at you. So maybe if you don't want to go that low, that close to the precious, your precious stuff, then you can just switch it up and go into a different mock. Let's call it.
And mock it up.
Yeah, and what are you doing, folks? Embrace the luck of the Irish and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. All right, head over to manscaped.com. Use that promo code SGPN for 20% off. You know, ever since I've used Manscaped, I can proudly say that I've found my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, CJ. So meet your new lucky charm for St. Patrick's Day, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. All right, get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code SGPN at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with SGPN as the promo code there at manscaped.com. This St. Patrick's Day, make sure your little hairy leprechaun is luckier than ever with Manscaped.
Wow. All right. I love it. Great read.
We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NBA season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NBA and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets. Craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. What's your opinion on the?
And we're back.
What's your opinion on the movie Leprechaun?
Hall of Fame Bets doesn't do anything for your dick, huh? Leprechaun. Leprechaun took a turn that I couldn't envision. That's for sure. I mean, I when I watched first Leprechaun, I would
Jennifer
not envision.
Aniston. Jennifer Aniston. That was way ahead of the times
for sure. I definitely wouldn't think 5 more were coming. You know. But it made this intelligent choice to drift into the hip hop world, if you will, the urban world, and embrace that. And they like getting Leprechaun high, and he start killing rappers and whatnot.
Clark in the chat saying Leprechaun took quite a turn when it went to the hood.
Yeah, Leprechaun in the hood. That's why I think it was smart. Well, first he went to space. That's what I like. They put him in space, and then they brought him back, and then finally, all right, let's put him in the ghetto then, in the hood.
Look, I gotta be honest. Leprechaun in space, it has me every time. Like I would spend money every time. Take my money, you know. But as Clark says, Leprechaun invading the black community totally makes sense.
I mean, it was almost a spinoff series. It went. Well, Irish, and the they have an old rivalry going, but it's one out of respect, and that's why after Leprechaun in the Hood Part 5 of 2000, 3 years later, Leprechaun back to the hood. He came back to the hood to show some respect and kill some more urbanites, if you will.
No, that wasn't Vern Troyer. That was the other guy, right? I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was in Willow, right?
Yeah, Warwick Davis.
Yeah,
he's great.
See, I don't know that I would ever be out on a Leprechaun movie. You did it get to a number where you just said I'm fucking done with this series?
Well, that's why I like what it's when movies get to be so many that they get rid of the numbers because it's embarrassing. They can't just say Leprechaun 8. They can't say that. So
that's the screenwriter. The screenwriter can't say, "Yeah, I wrote Leprechaun 8." He's got to say, it's his ego. It's his ego, I think.
Well, no, in the studios too. That's why you see like Halloween Beyond and Forever, and just like these vague words. Like, what number is this? Like, don't worry about it. Just show up. I'm looking at the poster right now of Leprechaun 2 Leprechaun Back to the Hood, THA, the Hood, and he's got those little 3 claws, but he's doing it like he's doing a gang sign with it. It's highly offensive. It's amazing. And then there's one after that.
Number 4 in space is just so good, man.
Leprechaun Origins. Oh yeah, space. It doesn't get better than that, right?
The space photo is just great. He's up there and he's got a fucking lightsaber. I mean, this is fantastic. He's got a green lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, one small step for man, one giant leap of terror. Great tagline. Great Amazing. Tagline. Folks, what are you doing this holiday season? Not only do you want to get the Lawnmower 5.0, but why not binge watch all 17 Leprechauns?
Put the Leprechauns in you.
Yeah. Clark's cracking me up. And Simon says, I'd love a movie podcast on bad movies. Maybe we'll have to, dive into that at some point.
Absolutely. We can definitely get into that.
Oh yeah. I put CJ on the hard ticket to Hawaii. He sent me a Christmas card just for that one. Looking at the rest of the Tuesday slate, Texas Tech is heading to Stillwater.
Okay. Real quick, how when you Google something, the top 5 questions come up about the category,
Yeah.
Questions asked. No, question number 1. Why is the leprechaun in space? Just why? Why is he in there? How? Not even how. Why?
Wait,
why is he in space? And he
what's
answered,
great too is
a woo beautiful princess. Obviously, I mean, come on.
What's great too is he doesn't even have like spacesuits on. He's just in space.
Yeah, no, he's a leprechaun. He's a beast. Handle any atmosphere.
Oh man, genius, fucking genius.
All right, what game are we talking about now?
I don't know what we're talking about. Texas Tech is taking on Oklahoma State. I guarantee you this game will not be as entertaining as Leprechaun in space.
No, fuck this game. I hate both these teams too, to be honest with you.
I took West Virginia on the money line against Texas Tech. Fuck you, Texas Tech, with your all of a sudden scoring splurge.
All of a sudden
late in the game. Texas Tech's laying 2.5. I will take Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's gonna beat them. We got a live dog. We got a live dog here. Little yapper. Little yapper in Stillwater. How about the other Big 12 matchup? Cincinnati catching 4.5 in Norman. Oklahoma loses at the buzzer to Houston the other night.
Tough one. Coming back. What were they down? 17 in that game?
Yeah, dude, I was on Oklahoma money line. I'm like, if they just box out, that game goes to overtime and we might win this fucking thing. Of course not. Of course not. Kind of like Oklahoma to finish. They finish off Cincinnati here. Am I crazy to lay the 4.5?
It's not a great spot for Oklahoma, but I don't trust Cincinnati on the road for sure. So Big 12 home team, why not? Finish them off like you said.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's jump in on a Boomer Sooner.
Short number.
I got to ask you about this Horizon League tournament. Detroit almost beat your Oakland team that you have winning the Horizon the other day. Detroit still has one win, but man, they gave the Golden Grizzlies all they could handle the other night. Detroit's taking on the Milwaukee Panthers.
Those Panthers.
They're catching 13 points. I will take a shot on them covering the 13.
I don't know if I'd sprinkle though, but no, you're right.
I think they can cover that. Just the first game jitters. Air Force is at Wyoming. Wyoming's laying 6.5 there in Laramie. That tournament's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That whole fucking tournament's the best. I put a little down on New Mexico not to make the tournament today at 2-1. I think I don't like the way they look. They're just gonna lose out. They look horrible. Yeah. They look terrible. You can get them at 2-1 to not make the tournament right now. Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to load up on Wyoming -6.5, and I like that 2-1 to not make the tournament on the Lobos. Richard Pitino's only got a history of doing this for like 7 fucking years. So, he did this at Minnesota. All these Minnesota fans thought, "Hey, this is going to be our year," and then like down the stretch, they just lose every game. How about Rick Pitino in St. John's laying 17? Will he be dressed in the white knight outfit there in Chicago? Taking on RuPaul, the Blue Balls there. What are you doing here in Chicago?
Well, I mean, they've got new life, obviously. I mean, since it's funny, Georgetown's the team that played them the hardest so far, and the closest since he went scorched.
That's what I'm talking about. You buying into these Hoyas? You buying into these Hoyas?
You know, I just talked myself into it. Get these Hoyas. Yeah, they're going to lose by 5, but they're going to, they'll be shooting with them. Pitino in Chicago, like he's doing some city recruiting out there. He'll put on his white seersucker. He'll get his colonel.
Let me ask you. There. What restaurant is he hitting after the game? Where's he going?
Ooh, yeah, he's not going to La Scarola. He's going to, which is connected to Richard's Bar, which is a beautiful bar. There's a La Scarola Italian restaurant connected to a Richard's Bar on Grand Halstead and Ashland, I believe. It's an amazing.
Why is he not going here?
He's going there. But
he's going there. Okay.
But he's not there, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
he's not. Nobody sees you there. It's one of those places, and it's incredible. The bar itself, you could smoke in there. Technically, not technically, you can't. One of the best dive bars. All old Italian guys, people who smoke, they're ashing in their styrofoam cups. One time, and on a weekend, they get packed, of course, like every dive bar. This girl complained about this guy smoking in the bar, so they kicked her out. They said, "Get the fuck out of here. This is what we do here. We don't need your kind talking about how you can't smoke in a bar. Get the fuck out of here."
Oh, I love it. So Clark says he ain't eating deep dish pizza. What's he eating then, CJ?
No, he's not eating deep dish. There's so many great Italian fucking places there.
Yeah, he's offended at the thought of that Chicago deep dish shit.
Disgusting. He doesn't want those brick casseroles in his fucking gut. There's plenty of Italian restaurants where he'll go to Taylor Street, he'll go to South Side, and he'll be taken care of.
Lay the points. St. John's gonna win by 30.
Yeah, they are.
I've been fading DePaul. DePaul's already quit. They've already fucking quit.
Although I had them almost loot when I lost by 1 to Georgetown. I had them plus the points. Money line. God damn it. That was the one game they should have
got. Let's talk about this one here. Auburn, Missouri is still winless. Yeah, I did bet Missouri against Ole Miss at home in Columbia. They lost. It was 3-point game, minute and a half left. Of course they lose. Auburn is coming in there laying 12.5. I'm just going to do it. Give me the 12.5 in the Missouri Tigers. Sprinkle a little bit on that money line. Sprinkle. Let's go. Let's get that tennis skates. Let's get that one win.
I need it. Let's get it. I like it.
What are you doing? What are you doing here?
I'm gonna watch you from the sidelines, but I do like. I like your line of thinking. This would be a good game to get. Auburn coming down. I mean, obviously, it's Auburn doesn't give a shit about this game.
Yeah, and there's a couple of Mountain West games going on. There's also let's go back to Bubble Watch. Georgia Tech before the Mountain West games. Georgia Tech at Wake Forest. Wake Forest, hilarious. Storm the court. Next thing you know, you lose to you lose at Notre Dame. You lose at Virginia Tech.
Incredible.
I hope you enjoy the NIT. But that's what they get for Forbes saying, "Yeah, we shouldn't storm the court."
I know.
Biggest fucking win in 15 years. You're giving the fans shit about storming the court. They are taking on Georgia Tech. Damon Stoudemire and Georgia Tech have been ass on the road, but 13.5 is too many points. I'm jumping in on Georgia Tech. Give me the 13.5 and the Yellow Jackets. I don't know if I'm going to bet this, but what are you doing? What are you doing here? You have a lean?
I would lean Wake if anything. It's a bad spot for Georgia Tech. They're coming out, and I love Georgia Tech at home. I had a couple of them outrights. You know, we were on it when they were getting
Saturday. We hit it, against Florida State.
And before that, we had them too.
Yeah.
But I don't like them here for sure. They've been terrible. I see. It's a Wake party.
Final little bit of games here. 2 big time Mountain West games. San Diego State still competing for the 1 seed. They head to Las Vegas to take on UNLV. Aztecs are laying 1.5. I will lay the 1.5. I will lay the 1.5. What are you doing here?
Yeah, this is kind of seems like this is San Diego State's time of year. And UNLV has been shaky. even though they are at home. But you see San Diego State toughening up. There's tightening in their D a little bit more before they were in the beginning of the season, and I think they're focused. And you're right. I think they got their eyes on that 1 seed. I like them laying the short number. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Potter McBride says, "Where are the court storming T-shirts?" Those will be coming out very shortly. I have a meeting later today about those.
Court storm meeting. It's in the Slack.
Court storm meeting. All right. The important shit in life.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Jared Bush. Says, "What's up, dudes? I'm locked and loaded on today's game picks." There we go.
Beautiful.
And Simon says they stormed the court when Chamberlain scored 100 million gajillion. Play that Biden drop.
700 billion and $1,300,000,000,000.
Of course, they stormed the court. It was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. They're all hopped up on chocolates and oompa-loompas.
All right. Nevada, Boise State. Once again, Boise playing for the championship, essentially the regular season, the 1 seed. Yep. Boise's laying 5.5 against Steve Alford in Nevada. I was on Boise against New Mexico. That treated me kind. Can they double it up and do it again? I think so, man. And I'm actually going to make a case that Boise could go far. Now, it's hard to say without seeing a bracket, but watching Boise and seeing how veteran they are, these teams have. This team has multiple guys that have played in NCAA tournaments. So I kind of think Boise could be a dangerous Sweet 16 style team. Keep an eye out on the Broncos, but I'm going to lay the 5.5 against Steve Alford. And obviously I think Black Shear is going to play, but that's not official. So let me jump in on Boise. That's a lock. What are you doing here, CJ? You're on mute, buddy. No? What happened? Talk? I don't know why I'm not hearing. Are you guys hearing CJ? I'm not hearing CJ anymore. Anyway, I'm going to guess that he's on Boise. No, we don't hear you. No one hears you. You fucking turned it off. You turned off the show. It's all good, man. It was the final game anyway. Yeah, tweet out your play. CJ, it's a big game in the Mountain West, but don't worry. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. We're at an hour anyway. Let's just ride off into the sunset, Sullivan. Give the Bet Detective a follow on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. The College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And just get on and subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs. They're covering everything. All right, get on over there. And yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do here. We still don't know technology, but we fucking pick winners. All right. Make sure you check it out. I'll be live on the Sports Gambling Podcast in about 45 minutes. Or actually, no, I think 15 to 20 minutes. Sports Gambling Podcast is going to be talking college basketball futures for conference tournaments. 15-20 minutes. So stay tuned. And then later tonight around 6:00 Pacific, 9:00 Eastern, myself, Moneyline Mac, NC Nick, Noah B. Nick, talking also more futures in the entire college basketball slate tomorrow. Until next time, folks, this is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the cameras. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And you know what you're getting, 'cause the book's rewritten with the cameras. Everybody's trying to stop this team, but we keep on knocking them dead. They make opposing coaches wanna cuss and scream and pull their hair right out of their head. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole